So Lee, welcome to this interview. We're doing this interview today in English, but I will try to add some subtitles so people who are not as good in English or proficient in English, they can also understand. Because my
Mm-hmm.
YouTube channel is, of course, Dutch
Yeah,
or in Dutch.
yeah.
I've prepared some questions for you for people to get to know you and also your
Mhm.
company, and also to for people to know what services you can offer for people when they are looking for a sourcing partner. So
Mm-hmm.
my first question to you, just for people to get to know you, is what is the Silk Road Connection and how did it start?
Yeah. So the Silk Road Connection is a sourcing company based in China and in Netherlands. We specialize in helping e-commerce business owners to import product from China. So our slogan is sourcing from China in a digital world captures our mission very well. Everybody knows there are many companies in the market offer similar service. Of course, we want to stand out, but how?
Yeah.
Yeah, we all also know there are many products are being offered in the market are very similar design-wise, function-wise. So our unique approach involves guiding clients towards finding winning products. So we offer a tailored solution based on product background. So we do not sell product, we sell solution.
Yeah.
The fundamental concept of our business is to help our client to grow and to succeed.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
how our company. How did I start it? Good question. I started the trading business many years ago. So actually, first I stepped into the furniture business industry. So that time I lived in the factory for a long time to observe how production works, how to run a factory properly. I lived in the factory for a long time. I noticed that factories couldn't deliver what clients want. Also, at the same time, very few cares protecting clients' design. So that inspired me to start business. I thought I could become intermediary to solve all these problems. This is how it started. I still remember the first order I received after start the business. So the total order value was like 250,000 USD. So I was very excited, very happy, couldn't sleep for days.
Yeah.
Then later, Martin, he's Dutch, he joined my business. So he lived in China for many years. He has a great passion for Chinese culture and business. More
Hmm.
importantly, that he's a real expert. So he's in supply chain management for more than 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so together we began to help European companies to import from China. Since first day we know each other. Yeah,
Yeah.
so very long history. We have grew rapidly in the past few years. And right now we have more than 10 people in the team. Yeah, so this is how we started.
Yeah, yeah. So if I am understanding it correctly, so you had your strengths, you had your experience already. Martin has his strengths and his experience already, and you decided to combine these strengths to
Exactly.
have like a great business proposal, like a great value proposal for your potential clients.
Yes,
Uh,
correct.
that's correct.
Yes. So as you know, it's like the culture and the language barrier is very, very big. So it's very difficult to have this cooperation like Chinese with, let's say, a Dutch person work
Hmm.
as partnership. As you know, running a business with a partner already difficult. On top, there are culture difference and language difference. So we already overcome all these challenges. So our relationship is very strong, and this will help the business a lot.
Yep, yep.
Mhm.
And when maybe you said it, but I don't remember. But what year was this when you started this or?
I started uh, I started to be in the international business for more than 10 years. 10
Mm-hmm.
years ago, after graduate from university, my first job was already international trade. So until now.
Yeah, yeah. And with Maarten, you started when exactly?
We started 3 years ago about.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So yeah,
Yeah.
around 3 years ago,
Yeah.
because the things you are what you are doing, of course, like you said, like the communication is something that's it's the language barrier, maybe also cultural barrier makes it harder with for just someone who sells, for example, on Amazon or bol.com to communicate with these suppliers, and that's where you guys come in to help and to make this process more streamlined and also get better prices, MOQs, everything like that.
Yes, correct.
But have you seen that over the past years that has already been changing? So, like, do you see that suppliers are also noticing that, like, okay, we need to change in order to get more business, or did they stay the same over the years?
Actually, there are quite some changes, very obvious changes. The first major change would be that offering similar, as mentioned before, offering similar product in the market, leading to unhealthy price competition. So more and more factories paying more and more attention to R&D. They also trying to, let's see, protecting patent their designs as well. The second major change will be many supplier factories are trying to adapt to e-commerce business. So they are trying to be more flexible, at the same time reduce order quantity. Yeah, so of course, changes comes with challenges at the same time. The skill of factory as well as production process make it very difficult to reduce order quantity. For
Yeah,
example, changing modes will take up a lot of time. Yeah. So I do hope in the future more and more factories will have lower MOQ as well as more flexible. This will
yeah.
benefit many e-commerce business owners. Yeah.
Because do you also, so you're saying like we're hoping that the MOQ will lower in the future, but are these things that you also are trying to explain to these suppliers? So like maybe you
Yes.
explain like if you do a lower MOQ first, you can get more business in the long term, stuff like that, or?
Yes, I constantly educate them. I tell them that not anyone, not all business owners can be action. They buy container, 10 container, 20 containers. And people who has great potential to grow their business, and they should be willing to also take the risk together with us, trying more clients, trying more strategies, lower the MOQ, and also this will also grow their business. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm trying to educate them every day.
Yeah, and I can maybe also imagine that when you tell them, they maybe listen to you better than some random e-commerce seller like myself telling them, because maybe they think like, yeah, we don't know you, and maybe because you also, of course, talk in Chinese with them, it's also more trustworthy for them, or is that not correct?
It is correct. So
Okay,
explain
yeah,
everything in Chinese will make it more convincing. So I always explain the background of the project, the background of the client, make them understand that if they cooperate for the first order, there will be much more potential bigger orders in the future.
yeah,
Yes, it
yeah.
was much better explain in
All right.
Chinese. Mhm.
Yeah, so I think that's quite clear. One thing I have noticed is always that the communication between myself as an e-commerce seller and the suppliers is always a very tedious and you need to have a lot of patience with it, and also you need to be very visual if you want to change something of the product itself. So let's say I want to bundle it, or I want to maybe add some feature on the product, then if you just try to explain it with words, you can forget about it. You need to draw it, or like make it in Canva, for example, or even hire a designer to design the idea you have to communicate it. That's
Yeah,
a problem that I see a lot of times. But
yes.
do you also see some other issues maybe when contacting Chinese suppliers, that people maybe can recognize, or so yeah,
Yeah,
what are the issues?
there are actually many issues. So I will emphasize a few ones, the major ones. So the first issue would be the first challenge you face is to be able to identify good factories from hundreds of options, right? So we all know China is the world factory. So basically, almost all manufacturing industries can be found there. This means that the industrial chain is very complicated, ranging factories from hundreds of thousands workers to two-people workshop. So how do you identify the good or the best factories from trading companies from another 1,100 factories? So that's the first challenge. Yeah. And the second challenge would be miscommunication, also misunderstanding caused by language and cultural barrier. It's a bit cliche, but it how it is, right? And
Yeah,
also, yeah, you also notice is like along the way when you communicate with the suppliers often adjust price randomly. Yeah.
yeah,
Also, changes happen very often, but there's lack of advance notification. Yeah, so suddenly they make this change without telling you.
yeah,
And also big factories has high technology, high quality standard, but they require high MOQ. So small factories, they struggle to offer warranties. Yeah.
yeah,
So the last there's another major one would be delivery time delay. You probably many people face these issues before, I'm sure.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Delays, and also what you mentioned, like I can ask a supplier for a price and I can ask a
yeah,
second supplier for a price, and these prices
yeah,
can be totally different. And I would never know, like, okay, so what is a realistic price for the kind of quality I can get? So the only way for me to know, like, okay, this is a realistic price is to get multiple samples, compare them, compare prices. But this is, of course, a very tedious and long process. If you want
yeah.
to do that, of course, you can do that. But yeah, that's also a problem, I think.
Yes, it is. It is because you need to balance quality and price the best.
Yeah, yeah. And what I've also noticed, if you keep on pushing, like I want a lower price, and you need to offer me a lower price, then they will just compromise on quality, and that's not what you want.
Exactly.
Like in
Exactly.
my opinion, you should always strive to have like a really good quality product, and not try to undercut someone in the market, because that's always a race to the bottom, and you will get bad reviews as well. So I don't think that's the right
Right,
way
this
to
is
go.
strategy. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
That's the beauty of made in China. It's like you can find same products from $10 up to $30, $60. So there's a different range, different quality. You can find any level almost. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Yeah. So I think people watching, they will, if they are already in the market, they have started selling, they will recognize a lot of these problems and issues. And of course, your company helps to overcome a lot of these issues. But where I'm curious, how do you overcome, or how can somebody overcome these issues, and how could you maybe help with it to make the whole process easier?
Yeah. For someone who is in the market already and who wants to overcome the issues, I will have following suggestions. For the first one, identify the best suppliers, factories from 100,000 ones. You need to be able to check their background. For example, years of experience, scope of business, and their reputation. Also, the possible clients they have worked in the past as for your reference. So you know that what kind of clients they have supplied in the past, very important. Yeah. And the second one would be the cliche language and cultural barrier.
Hmm.
I would say keep the communication very short and simple. Know exactly what you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can learn Chinese that will only take you
Like 9 years
5 years.
minimum.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I tell a lot of my clients as well when they are talking to suppliers, like, if you don't even know what you want, then how can they even know what you want? So if you don't have a clear view of like, I want this product and I want this changed, then they can never know, because there's even the all the barriers we talked about. So I think that's also a really good point. Yeah.
Yeah. And for the price changes, it's a really headache. So you need to, like, let's say, leave enough space in your budget for potential adjustments, right? So
Yeah.
maybe your budget is 5, make it 7. So you always have space. And then,
Yeah.
yeah. Also assign agreement with the supplier stating a fixed price for a certain period of time.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
you could do that, of course, but sometimes I have noticed, especially like in the past, I've sold a product that was made of wood, and of course, the price of wood has increased dramatically over the years.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's specifically for China, but I think in the whole world, like yeah, wood has risen in price, but also steel, metal, of course, has increased. Like almost
Raw
every
material.
raw material has increased in price. So I think these price increases are not the end of the world as long as everybody has them. So what I have noticed in periods where certain things became more expensive, I saw everybody in the market raise their price. So on Amazon during the COVID period, I saw that all the prices went up in the market. So for me, it was not a problem that I had to pay my supplier more or had to pay like my freight forwarder more, because the people like my
Common.
competitors who needed to raise their
Have
price
the
also
same.
to be profitable. So, but of
Exactly.
course, if they specifically try to raise the price with you, then you have a problem, because then the market will not raise their price and you will be the only one forced to raise your price. That will be a problem. Yeah.
Exactly. So signing agreement stating a fixed price is very important. Yeah. And also you can prepare more suppliers as backup. So if they start to increase price, you have other options to go, right? So without options, you don't have power to negotiate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think like you said, you need to have an agreement on a fixed price. But what I have noticed is that some suppliers, I'm not saying all of them, of course, but some suppliers, they are not really trustworthy because you have like an agreement with them, but then they change this later on. And of course, for example, when you ask them like, can you not sell my product for to other sellers for 6 months? They can say yes, but they can still do it without any
It
consequence.
happens all.
So how trustworthy is this agreement then, I think?
Yeah, that's quite common. I would say that it's all about leverage. If you import stable quantity on a monthly basis, that they understand if they are trying to sell your product to your competitors, they will lose you as clients, right? So
Yeah.
they need
Yeah.
to clearly understand there's a consequence. Yeah. And then secondly, is build a very good relationship with them. So in China, connection is everything. So besides knowing losing you as a client, also you have a very strong bond with each other. So they will, let's see, ethically, they will also not try to ruin your business or kill your business. Yeah.
Yeah. So is it like a common misconception that in general Chinese suppliers are not trustworthy? Do they have these principles like you are saying?
Actually, recent years it has changed a lot. In the past, it's very common they sell your design, your product to other competitors. Recent years, like they understand you are a very serious client for them, and before they are trying to make any move or your competitor approach them, they want to buy the same product as what you are selling. Actually, at least for the supplier I work with, they always tell me in advance. So they tell me like, hey, this company is trying to buy your client's product. So at
Okay, yeah.
least we can prepare in advance. We can say, okay, we have a larger order quantity, or we want to sign agreement with you. So we can prepare a strategy to, let's see, not let your competitors just buy products and then kill your business. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Would it also help? I've just always thought about this. I never done it actually, but would it also help to physically go to China and visit them? Is that something that would help as well in the relationship, or is it something that's a bit too much?
Well, it does help, but of course the cost is also very high to be able to physically visit China. Building bonds while physical visit will help, but I would say that, let's say, run your business well, grow the order quantity always works better, because at the end it's all about business.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course. If you are a big client, they will take you more seriously.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So to focus a bit more on the Silk Road connection itself,
Mhm. Yeah.
what specific services can people, yeah, buy from you and get your help with, and what other services do you also offer?
So what other service? Other service, for example, we offer inspection, quality control,
Hmm.
factory audits. Before you place large order, I suggest always audit the factory, right? And also photography and also product development. Those are
Yeah.
other services we offer. Yeah.
All right. So product development means more that you want, if you really want to customize a product, then you can help with that, or
Yes, exactly.
ah,
Adding
okay.
feature or develop a new mode like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
And maybe just because I know there are also a lot of maybe beginning entrepreneurs, beginning people who want to start e-commerce, they don't
Mhm.
know that much about the whole sourcing agent process. Can you
Yeah.
maybe explain a bit in like really easy steps what people can expect if they want to work together with you and get your help on sourcing a product? So how does that go exactly?
Okay, so first, of course, you need to know which product you need to sell, and probably other clients, people will do their homework first, knowing exactly what you want, and also knowing exactly how to differentiate your product from your competitor, very important. So, and then
Hmm.
after collecting all the information, you can send me email or WeChat. In China, WeChat is your email,
Yeah.
and send all the yeah, your all the product information to me. Then based on the information, product information, we'll start the sorting process. In China, we have dedicated team work 10 hours, 12 hours a day to um help you to find the right supplier. So then after, based on your requirement, we will start to source a right supplier for you, and then also we will submit the quotation. So if you're happy with the price, we will order a sample for you, and then we can also airship them to Netherlands, so you can check the quality. After you are satisfied with the quality, we start to place order with the factory. So we also offer model management service, from price negotiation to check a supplier background, to let's see, monitor the production, and then arrange a shipment for you from China to Netherlands. So basically A to Z, the whole process.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So I would say the last thing is worth to mention is for people who are interested in our service. So we leverage resources and connection locally to
Hmm.
shortlist the best suppliers from 100,000 ones, right? So we are Chinese, we know what is the best factory or supplier. So for us,
Yeah.
it's relatively easier to identify them. And
Yeah.
then in the past many years, we built very solid relationship with many factories. This will help the negotiation easier. So as I said, like if your competitors approach them, want to buy your products, they will always inform us in advance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So that's how connection does, right? Good connection, at least that they inform you in advance and they help you to grow your business instead of like run your business. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, of
Mm-hmm.
course, it's a bit of an investment working together with the Silk Road Connection, of course, but
Yeah.
I think it's totally worth it because you will get lower prices upfront, better MOQs, a longer period of being the only seller in the market. So
Yes.
all these advantages you get for this little investment. So and even like especially beginners, they don't realize that they are not good negotiators. So they will probably get an even they will even be better off even paying you and having, because the price is so much lower than they can get themselves.
Exactly.
And also I think a question that is more relevant to people with lower budgets and also people that are more starting out is, from what point on is it even interesting to work together? Because I can imagine if somebody comes, somebody emails like the Silk Road Connection and asks like, can I buy 10 units? Then you are okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna pass this order because it's a bit too small. But like
Yeah.
from what point on, maybe like a MOQ or like a minimal amount of euros or dollars invested, from what point on does it become interesting to work together with the Silk Road Connection?
Very good question. So basically, we have a minimum fee, right? So we charge certain percentage of commission with a minimum of, let's see, about 149 euro. I would say if order value more than 3,000 euro will make sense for both parties. Yeah.
Yeah. All
Of
right.
course,
So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
from 3,000 euros onward, you mean, or?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's interesting. For me, of course, it will be no problem. But I know a lot of beginners that are starting out with like €1,000 or $1,000, something like that. Of course, they can use the tips they have seen in this interview to first try it out themselves, and then if they become a larger company, they can maybe also work together with you.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
but
And
I think, oh yeah,
as mentioned, that they also can choose the loose service. For example, even they have an order for value for 1,500 euro, but they can use our inspection or factory audit will not be necessary because the order is small.
yeah.
Like inspection, and also for let's see, like sample check or photography, that would work.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah, I think an inspection, especially in the beginning, is very important, because what you see a lot of the times is if you order a sample with with the manufacturer, you get a sample, but it's not always the case that the mass production is the same quality as the sample. So that's why I always tell people, especially with the first order, check the mass production on mass production errors, because this sample is some polished product. Of course, they are not going to send you a bad sample because they
Yes,
know.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. All
And
right.
you can, yeah, for this, actually, this problem, you can, for example, receive a sample from the factory and then sign your name on the sample and send back to the factory, and you keep one yourself. And this means before inspection, you send the sample you confirm to the inspector, so they will bring your sample to compare with the mass production. If it doesn't match, you can reject
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
order. Yeah,
Yeah, I think always what I always do is that I have specific quality points that I communicate with my supplier. I want them
exactly.
to specifically write everything down in the invoice, in the order invoice, so it's really clear what we have agreed on. And then with the inspection, I give this same list of quality points to my inspection, and then they will check this whole list. And if something doesn't match or there are a lot of errors, then of course, I will just communicate with the supplier like, this is not what we agreed on. If you want the full payment, because of course when you order something on Alibaba, for example, you have trade assurance, and yeah, if they don't comply with your list of quality points, you can always say like, yeah, then I will cancel the order through Alibaba, and they don't want that, of course. So then you
Exactly.
have some leverage.
Yes. So as you mentioned, checklist is very important. Sample and
Yeah.
checklist. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So Lee, now people understand what you can offer, what the issues are, and how they can overcome them, maybe with your help as well, and what the minimum budget, of course, is. But if people watch this interview and they want to proceed in working together with the Silk Road Connection, what steps should they take to get in contact with you?
Yeah. So they can write email to info@thesilkroadconnection.com.
Yeah, I will also put it in the screen so people can see where to email. One
Yes.
thing that is very important, if you want the best prices, make sure you mention Jasper Leeuw, just mention my name in the email so Lee
Oh, yes.
also knows that you come from my YouTube channel. That's something that's very important to us. All right. I can only recommend the service that Lee can offer with the Silk Road Connection. I've worked with them in the past before as well. I think it's a very good service, and yeah, like I said, it's an investment in your business for the long term, and you will only get a lot of benefits out of it.
Yeah, so basically that we conduct all negotiation in Chinese, and the cost we save for you covers the money you spend with us. So basically you can use our service for free.
Yeah, that's basically how it works.
Yeah. Yes.
So the last question on my list, also for me very interesting, but also for the people who watch this video, what is the future of the Silk Road Connection? What do you envision? Where do you want to go?
Yeah. So the fundamental concept is to help our client to grow the business to succeed. This will never change. We are very good at discovering new winning products and with very competitive price. So all supported by our dedicated customer service team. We are very passionate about what we do, and we aim to become the best in the field. That will be our goal.
Yeah,
Yes.
nice. All right. Great to hear. I'm curious to see where you will grow to. Maybe you will be eventually be the most known sourcing agent that has contact with the Netherlands. We will see.
That will be the goal. Yes.
Yeah, of course. Have big goals, big dreams. That's what I'm all about.
Yeah. So, and I also believe that as long as you put your mind into something, it will work.
Yeah.
Because I have seen many people around me start from very low and then they achieve their dream at the end.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
funny. Because I
Yes.
also have this quote in my
Yeah,
I
it's
remember this
very
quote. Yeah.
true. Yeah.
If you really put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. Yeah. I always, when I was younger as a kid, I watched Back to the Future, and they say it a lot of times in that movie. So it's always something that stuck with me. But it's a very true quote. Yeah, I think so too.
So there are many like motivation videos online. Some of them are like scammers, of course, you know, right? But I don't believe in all these kind of extreme motivation speeches.
Yeah.
But I have learned from all the friends around me, something actually happened. For example, someone like underdog start very low, working in the restaurant as waiter, and then they study many years. They became a professor in the university, or they became the best at what they do, you know, in different fields. So this is what I saw happening beside me. So it's real, not
Yeah.
from TV or movies. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you believe that you can achieve something, you will take the steps to get there. And if you don't believe that you can achieve something, you will not even take the steps because you think it will
Exactly.
be, it's yeah, I can just not as well not do it because I will never make it. So yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
a basic principle that everybody should
Yeah.
learn. So I
Yeah.
think that's a nice way to end the interview with some optimistic ideas.
Yes.
Thank you very much for the interview. Hopefully, everybody who watches this interview can take their own like golden nuggets from it, and maybe they will be your future clients. Who will know?
Yes. I will be very happy to know more entrepreneurs and get to know new people. Yeah. Discover more business opportunities and also go to China together.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Great. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.